Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are speaking about what makes high performers high performers, what makes the high performers to become high performers. And today I want to start by saying dynamic adaptability. To be adaptable as a young man would make you a high performer. And high performers are able to have dynamic adaptability in every situation of their lives. They are adaptable to places, they are adaptable to people, they are adaptable to circumstances, and they are able to be adaptable as well to environment like weather and so on. And that's the reason what makes high performers to become high performers is they need dynamic adaptability. And I've seen people that have actually traveled to other countries where they've got sponsorships, maybe of moving from Africa to overseas in Europe. And while they're studying there or they become high performers there, they decide to come back just because of the winter period in Europe. And they'll tell you now, I cannot cope with the weather. Now, that is setting you backwards, remember? And as a young man, remember that what will make you a high performer is ability to adapt in situations like that. You cannot now give up your dream just because of the weather in Europe. You cannot now relinquish your dream because you cannot adjust to the coldness, the cold weather of Europe. And that is showing that you cannot be a high performer then thereof. Now, dynamic adaptability of people that are high performers is what makes them high performers. Now, they quickly adjust to new information. Number one, if there's a new information, they want to adjust themselves. And that is why you'll see that high performers are change agents. High performers are actually adaptable to change as well. They're able to align themselves, weather change, and learn quickly and adapt quickly in changes and become change agents themselves. And this is very important. And I'm emphasizing this, that adaptability is quick adjustment to new information as well. Well, when you are told of a new information and you learn out of it, and don't become rigid of what you know. Because people that are not high performers are those that stick to the old habits that they know, the old ways of doing things, and they are not actually changeable in their minds. They are not adaptable to say, this is a new information, I want to apply it in my life and become something better. Now, adaptability then enhances your knowledge. It enhances your improvement to become a high performer. And this is very important because information is dynamic. We have seen that information evolves as well. Now, you cannot compare 10 years ago and now. You cannot compare a decade ago and now. You cannot compare also a century ago and now. Now, things are different now because of new information. And high performers are able to grasp a new information and run with it and be able to apply it in their lives, and they become better because that is that which will make them to become high performers. Adaptability. Now, the other thing is also people of dynamic adaptability, which is the high performers. They are actually able to adapt to altered circumstances. Remember that there are times when things are supposed to be done this way, but because of certain circumstances, they will be adjusted. They will be altered and made different. And because of that alterations, there are those that will give up in that. But high performers are actually able to adapt to all those altered circumstances and align themselves to the new information and a new way of doing things, and they become high performers because of that. And I want you to remember that because this becomes very important, that you become dynamic and be adaptable actually in situations, be adaptable in environments, and your life will actually never be the same. And you'll become a high performer when you are able to adapt and dynamically adapt in new environments. The other thing that makes high performers to become high performers is efficient execution. And this I cannot emphasize enough as well. Because most of the time, we hear about things and we procrastinate about them. And we postpone and say we will do things tomorrow. And sometimes even when we execute the things, we are casual about it. And therefore, when you are casual about your execution and you're not careful and efficient about it, one, you're going to waste time in your execution. You may not reach the desired destiny. You are going to also waste resources along the way if you're not efficient enough in your execution. And as a result, that will make you to give up at the end. And also you will not be high performing. When you have delayed and wasted time, when you have wasted resources along the way, you cannot be high performing. Because high performance will go with efficient execution, efficient application of ideas, efficient application of what you want to do, and the project, management of the project that you're managing. And that's very important. You must do it efficiently. And that makes you then a high performer. Prioritize the tasks. And please make sure that you focus on delivering results. Because most of the time we are, as young men, not prioritizing the tasks that we're doing. You find that you want to be efficient, but yet you're doing every single thing that comes around. You're not able to sieve through and prioritize the things that you want to do. Remember, there are long-term actions. There are what we call medium-term actions that you need to do, but there are those immediate actions, which will be the actions of now. Now, you're going to prioritize according to importance. You're going to prioritize as well according to what brings the results. And high performance looks at what will bring results. And therefore, they will prioritize and say, but this, if I do it now, it will bring results quicker. And that, if I do, it's a medium term, I can only do it later. And that is a long term, then I can do it much later as well. Efficient people, what we call high performers, they're able actually to look at that and say, I'm prioritizing. I'm not going to do things the same because things are not the same. So therefore, I'm going to do them based on the results. And that is high performance. Now, the other thing about high performers that makes them to be high performers is what we call impactful communication. I cannot speak enough about this as well. Communication is very important, remember, if you want to become a high performer. Now, that communication that we're speaking about must not just be communication, but it must be impactful in nature. How do you judge that communication is impactful? You look at, or you focus on the outcomes. You focus on the results that if I communicate this way, what will be the expected outcomes? Now, based on the expected outcomes that you put friends ahead of you here, you will actually judge if this will be impactful or not. So therefore, people that are successful in their lives, that becomes high performers in their lives, is purely because when they communicate, they don't just communicate. They communicate with an aim to become impactful in their communication. And that's very important. And when you want to become a high performer, so please, when you communicate, be impactful in your communication. Now, share ideas clearly and make sure that you listen actively as well. And I must really say that many of us fail to share ideas clearly. Whatever ideas that we share, as long as we have shared them, but we don't care whether people have heard or not. But remember that if you want to become a high performer, the team that you're dealing with, you must actually tell them instructions clearly. They must know exactly what you expect from them. They must know exactly what you want them to do. And if you are clear in your ideas, you must know that people will be able to articulate that which you are sharing, and they are going to bring the team to become a team of high performers. I've given an example with sports, with the soccer team earlier, that if you are a coach, then you must communicate impactfully by sharing your ideas clearly. Because if you are not impactful enough in the sense of sharing your ideas clearly, you're still going to have a team that didn't understand your instructions. And as a result, they're not going to perform and become high performers because they just simply didn't understand the instructions. Now, as a young man, when you are a leader, remember that lead with clarity. Make sure that you share ideas clearly. Not only that, but be able to listen as well attentively. Because there are those that will comment along the way. There are those people that will respond as you give clarity to your communication. Please listen attentively, because that will help you actually to shape the way you're going to instruct them, the way you want to coach them in a way that will be adjustable to them. So listen actively, listen attentively as well. Make sure that you are able to communicate based on what you have heard, because that becomes very important, that you listen actively as well. I want to end up here today. This was part 4 of this great topic. We'll wrap it up tomorrow with part 5. But please, before I check out, I want to remind you of our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, and our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. They are there for you to follow. And also, please like those pages and make sure that you click notification buttons on them. Don't forget our YouTube channel, Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of materials that we posted there that will be helpful for you. Don't forget our TikTok account as well. Like it. Make sure that you follow us on our TikTok account, and the good Lord will bless you. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.